I hate to do this, and I just said this moments ago. It's a tough gig, man. It's one of the toughest gigs in sports is umpiring and obviously home plate umpiring. But do you think baseball has an umpiring problem, Jomboy? What do you think?
Well, I just think that better solutions have come and are coming. I think the problem is that more pitches are being thrown harder, faster, with more movement, and then the strike zone is still subjective, kind of to what the ump decides it is that day. And this guy calls it off the plate a lot. It's like, well, I mean, isn't it one zone for everyone? Why does umps have tendencies? But that is the human nature of it. And because there was no solution, people tricked themselves and said, you know what, I love the human element. I like it. And the only reason people said that is because there was no solution. So you just had to trick yourself into saying, this isn't that bad. We have a pretty easy fix that should be here relatively soon. So
what is that?
I just think the job is incredibly hard. And then I also I haven't done a lot of research on this, but I don't know if you saw Joe West's comments, and he said he reached out to Angel Hernandez to see what MLB scored his performance that night. And they scored it apparently a 98 out of 100.
Come on.
And we heard Theo Epstein say that if he was to make some changes in baseball, he would widen the strike zone. And we saw Alex Rodriguez say that he would widen the strike zone and make it, fat and short instead of skinny and tall, which it became. And I agree with that change. They should change the strike zone. It would be better to have more balls in play with that. And I want to look into it because it almost feels like the umpires got a little bit of that memo, but no one else did, because balls off the plate on either side are being called seemingly more this year than years past. But that is not official or anything. But I do want to look into that.
Well, okay, so a couple things you just said. So what are the changes that are coming soon that you were referring to that people might not?
Well, they're already testing out the, I don't even know if it is robot, but automatic balls and strikes being called in lower levels, where there's still an umpire standing behind home plate, but he has an earpiece in, and then after the pitch, he gets told by the computer or whatever it is, that was a strike or ball, then he makes the call. It's not perfected yet, though. There's pitches that, if I throw a pitch that's 20 feet in the air and then it comes down and it lands at the batter's in between his feet, but it nicks the zone, it's calling that a strike because technically it nicked the zone. Last I read, they didn't really perfect that it had to go through the zone. So I don't think it's ready. But once it's ready and once what the automatic strike zone looks like per the robots calls is what we all say, yeah, that seems right. It should be implemented as soon as possible, in my opinion. But I just don't think we're ready yet.
So the role of a home plate umpire would be to basically be the communicator of what the computer's called something, and then and then be the human being who adjudicates whether somebody's safe or out at home or ball's fair or foul.
Keep the pace of play, get guys in the box and the pitcher moving.
And you like that?
You got to get the new ball out. They're always looking for new balls after they get stuffed.
Yes, that's true.
Plays at the plate, check swings, I guess.
You like that?
There's still some stuff to be done.
You like that? You would like that? You would prefer that than the current setup? You'd like that?
If the calls are correct. Like right now, if we're all watching a game, sometimes there's a collective groan at the bar or in the crowd because everybody watching had it as a strike or a ball, but the umpire had it off. If we changed to robots and we still had those collective groans nonstop and it didn't feel better, the technology didn't get us in a better place, I would say it's not worth it. But I think it can get there. A lot of leagues and sports use this technology of ball tracking. So, it would need to just feel good. Everyone would need to kind of say, like, no, I trust it. That's right.
And then you heard Joe West said that Angel Hernandez told him that disastrous night behind home plate where everybody hated him and the whole country was chiming in, and Kyle Schwarber and his reaction was giving everybody who was watching the ability to feel like they were venting with him, that baseball thought he was damn near perfect that night. Is that what you just said?
Yeah. So I can find it. I don't know who originally had the article. I wish I could quote them. But Joe West is making the rounds now because he's retired.
Right, he's got his podcast. He
doesn't have a mic every Sunday night, so he's going on a lot of shows. Good for him. He's got a lot of cool stories to share. And he said that it was graded at 96% from MLB on a podcast he went on. I'm trying to search. I don't want to shout someone out Not 670 to score. Home plate Angel Hernandez. Joe West went on there, said he asked Angel, what was your score? And he got a 96%. And Joe West said they need to sync the strike zone that they're grading the umpires on with the public perception of the strike zone. So I'm really interested to see if there is a disagreement there.
Yeah.
If the box Fox is putting on the screen is different than what MLB is grading the umps on, so that's a pretty.
Hey, that's a problem. Of course. Well, look, if they're grading the umps on a certain box, and then the box that the national TV partners and then of course the local TV partners are all using, and we're all saying these people suck, and baseball's like, way to go. That's one thing, but the players are the ones who are flipping out. I mean, your breakdown, Jomboy, of it with the lip reading of Girardi and Schwarber and everything was terrific. I mean, that's the problem. Forget about the disconnect with the fans, which is significant. But if there's still a disconnect with those who are actually competing, that's nuts. That's crazy.
Yes, I agree. I don't know if that's the case, but I'm interested because we've heard just people talk about how they want the strike zone to go back to being wider instead of taller and skinny. And I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe the umpires said, yeah, we want that to go back as well. But they call based on the scores they get, and that information isn't public to us. We have third-party Twitter accounts that do their own grading system on a different strike zone, apparently. So there just needs to be more transparency. If the umpires are getting graded by MLB after each game, let us know, because then let us know what the parameters of that grading system are, so we as a viewer and players understand what they have to be looking for when it comes to the pitches.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.